You mentioned the Philadelphia Eagles there, Stephen, and they are visiting my New York Giants. It is the Philadelphia Eagles laying 7 in most spots with a total of 44.5. Eagles seem to have gotten back on track from where they were early in the season. And I'm not going to say the wheels have fallen entirely off the New York Giants, but the way Brad talked about the regression hitting the Minnesota Vikings all in 1 week, it's hit the New York Giants very steadily here over the last 3 weeks, coming off a tie that was what both teams absolutely deserved last week against the Washington Commanders. You said you like the Philadelphia Eagles as a teaser leg.
Yeah, begrudgingly, I think if this line is 7 or 7.5, then I think it's fine to tease them down. I have a straight bet on them as well. If you were listening last week, I bet the Eagles minus 5.5. I thought that line was just completely wrong with the state of these rosters right now. So I still feel strongly about that. But as we record right now, we're at sevens and even a 7.5 popping up at BetMGM here with less juice on the Eagles. So I think we're now in teaser range for Philly. I expect the Giants to compete in this game. They play hard. They have great game planning with Brian Dable. But I mean, if you look at these two teams on paper here and include what we know about the talent level that's left on both of these rosters, and the only issue we've had with the Eagles at any point this season has been their rush defense, which now is fixed. Jordan Davis came back, shut down Derrick Henry and the Titans last week. They still have the 2 additions off the street that they added, including Ndamukong Suh. So any issue I had with the Eagles has already been resolved starting last week. And the Giants, I think, just don't have the talent to cover a spread like this at this point. And that's I have high hopes for the Giants. They've beaten a lot of teams that are more bottom of the barrel, and I think that's put them into playoff contention. But man, this is a totally different ball game we're talking about here against the Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah, that is for the New York Giants, and they might be doing it without Leonard Williams. He's questionable to go for the Giants. That greatly affects their run defense. Brad, what we know about the Giants, and we know what specifically about Wink Martindale, is they're going to blitz and blitz and blitz. This could be an A.J. Brown feast day for the Philadelphia Eagles, depending on the success of those blitzes. I don't have a lot of faith in the Giants to win outright. How do you feel about the Eagles laying 7?
Yeah, well, to your point, I'm less confident about what happens when the Eagles have the ball because, as you say, Wink's going to send his blitzes and he's going to be down his top 2 corners against 2 very, very, very good receivers. But Hurts has been generally a little bit worse against the blitz this year. And, if they can force him to break the pocket, maybe they can have some success containing him. What I am confident about is that the Giants cannot move the ball against this defense. So, I mean, the Giants' offensive line, been banged up the last couple of weeks. They're 31st in adjusted sack rate, 31st in pressure percentage allowed, and the Eagles are second in both those metrics. So, second from top versus second from bottom. That's not ideal for them. And then obviously on the outside, say Danny Dimes does escape some pressure. His receivers are just nowhere near as talented as the cornerbacks they're going against. And then you add in the fact that Saquon's on the injury report this week. He's banged up. He's lost a bit of his burst in recent weeks as well. And yeah, as I checked this was 17.5 the team total on DraftKings about 40 minutes ago. And I had a good bet on the under there.
I can't argue with that at all. With the struggles that the Giants have moving the ball in the first place, they really have not been willing to throw it long a whole lot. They did last week for a 55-yard completion for Darius Slayton, but their ability to get yardage in chunks is really not particularly great. And so, like where you're thinking there with under 17.5 on the New York Giants.